Alright there guys, and welcome back to a new video. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Today we're going to be talking about r/Animememes. One of the most famous anime subreddits that revolve around anime. So r/Animememes was the number one place on Reddit for anime memes. It reached it before any of the controversy that I'll get into. Before any of it happened, it was at 930k subscribers on the Reddit. Almost 1 million subscribers for a Reddit about anime memes. That would be pretty impressive. I remember when I joined Reddit back in September of 2018, so almost 2 years ago now. Yeah, almost 2 years ago. And joined the r/Animememes Reddit, and there's been so many memes over the past 2 years that I found so funny. But then, not just a few weeks ago, the controversy started. What's the controversy? Well, the r/Animememes moderators decided to ban the word trap out of nowhere. No warning. There was no warning that this was going to happen. They just did it and then issued the reasoning why. And their reasoning is their reasoning is that the word trap is a transphobic slur. I mean, first of all, no. But before I even get into that, if you didn't know, every single LGBT identity actually used to be a slur, believe it or not. Like, gay used to be a slur, lesbian used to be a slur, etc. They all used to be slurs. But they are now used as positive words for the community. The same way how back in the day, queer was a slur towards gay people, but now people are happy to say that they're queer. So it's like that. But traps are trap is not a transphobic slur. Do you know why? Because traps and trans people don't have any relation. They are not the same thing. They are not linked in any way. A trans person is someone who has been medically diagnosed with gender dysphoria, which is feeling discomfort within the gender they were born as, and will undergo either medical or social changes to themselves to present more as the opposite gender. And want to be referred to as the opposite gender to what they were born as. Traps are basically people. A trap is like a crossdresser. It's someone who. It's a male that dresses up like a female, but is still completely happy being male. And reverse traps are the same thing. But in reverse, a female that dresses up like a male and presents like a male, but is completely happy being female. See, not the same thing. Traps and crossdressers are not trans people. So when they did that, pretty much everyone on the subreddit was like, okay, what is this? Why is the word trap being banned? When were traps ever offensive? And also, traps, yes, they exist in real life as well, but they were popular. Anime definitely did popularize them. Not only that, the point a trap is meant to look traps are meant to look the way they do, Because that's the whole point. That's why they're called traps. They're supposed to trap the person watching the anime or reading the manga, except either way. They're meant to trap that person into thinking that the person they're looking at is female when they're actually male. Some good examples of traps are Nagisa from Assassination Classroom, who actually thought Nagisa was male when they first saw him. Exactly, none of us did. Well, someone will have thought he was male, but that's probably on luck. We've got Felis Argyle from ReZero, who assumed he was male until he told Subaru that he was male. You all thought he was female. I already knew he was male because I'd seen so many memes about him before I actually watched ReZero. Then we have the most famous trap of all time, Astolfo from Fate. Who thought Astolfo was male when you looked at him? Exactly. There's no way you would not think he was female unless you already knew. So after this happened, r/Animememes in just 1 week lost 100k subscribers. They went from 930k subs to 830k subs. One of the biggest losses in subscribers on Reddit ever, probably for 1 week. That's probably one of the biggest subscriber losses on all of Reddit in its history. Which is funny because this subreddit went from simping for Echidna's bodily fluid tea. If you remember in ReZero Season 2, Subaru drinks some tea, and then Echidna, who looks a bit like Amelia, but she wears all black, says to him, "Oh, by the way, that's actually my bodily fluids." We went from simping over that to an all-out civil war because all the users of r/Animememes started memeing the moderators and and basically showing how stupid it is to ban the word trap when it's not offensive. And guess what? Are trans people affected by the word trap? No. Yet again, it's where no trans people are offended by something. It's so annoying because you see so many cis people basically getting offended on the behalf of trans people and trying to ban something when trans people literally don't care. It's a bit like the J.K. Rowling controversy this year, where so many people were calling her transphobic for a few tweets that she made, but when you look at it, you realise that there are no trans people calling her transphobic. It's either cis people or people that identify as a gender that isn't cis or trans. They're the ones who are calling her transphobic. Actual trans people are not saying that it's transphobic. It's like, if you're gonna call something transphobic, trans people actually need to get offended by it for it to be considered transphobic, otherwise it's not. And that's the same situation here. Trans people are not calling the word trap transphobic. The moderators have just decided by themselves and gotten offended on the behalf of trans people for this. And do trans people actually want that? No, trans people do not want people to be getting offended on their behalf because it makes them look bad when they're saying that it's not offensive, and all these people will be like, but we were doing this for you. We were doing this for you. We were trying to ban this for you. You weren't, though. You know that no trans people are saying that trap is offensive. So after all that, after the users of r/Animememes, because let's be honest, moderators do not make up do not make up any subreddit, do they? It's the users. The users are the ones that make the subreddit what it is. So all the users of r/Animememes memed the moderators so hard that the moderators actually privatized the entire subreddit. Let me give you an example. Okay, picture that there's a rectangle right here. There's 3 holes in. There's 3 holes inside. One's a circle hole, one's a square hole, and one's a triangle hole, right? And you have 3 shapes in your hand. A triangle, a square, and a circle. Basically, what the moderators are doing, thinking they're solving transphobia, is they're getting the square and trying to put it in the circle hole. It's not going to fit. Small brain move by the r/Animememes moderators. That's what people need to just stop doing in general. Stop getting offended on the behalf of trans people. If they don't think something is transphobic, why do you? I think trans people would understand what's transphobic and what isn't better than someone who isn't trans. So yeah, the r/Animememes moderators got memed so hard to oblivion, they had to privatize the entire subreddit. So what's happened there is, they've given reasoning why. They've said that some of the mods were doxed. If that is true, which we don't have proof of that, but if that is true, that isn't cool at all. No one should ever get doxed for anything. You should never dox someone for anything. And if you don't know what doxing is, it's revealing somebody's home address publicly without their consent. That's what doxing is. Releasing someone's private information, like their address, their phone number, stuff like that, without them saying you can. So if that is the case, that's pretty uncool, and you shouldn't do. That's not something you should do. But if it's not true, it's still not cool to do it to dox at all. But if it's not true, then this just shows the mods are not willing to take accountability or responsibility for doing something so stupid and that just didn't need to happen. Unfortunately, some trans people are gonna end up suffering because of this stupid ban, because there are people are going to attack trans people for banning the word for getting the word trap banned when they did nothing wrong. They didn't do anything. They had no say in what happened in this. They didn't have any say in what happened. Instead, it's the mods that are to blame here. Don't blame trans people for something they didn't do. And actually, that reminds me, I have something to say. If you guys remember, back in October of last year, so nearly a year ago now, I made a video that was titled Retro Apocalypse is Not Transgender, didn't I? Where I made a video, at the time believing I was exposing David for faking that he wasn't trans at all, by using a video that he made back in 2018 about Pride Month and the Facebook post he made on his old account about being trans, and how I used that as evidence and read it and to prove he wasn't. Well, you may probably know that I've since deleted that video. I deleted it back in July because David made a post on made a post on Facebook and Snapchat, basically finally, for the very first time in 2.5 years, he genuinely sounded serious about being trans. So clearly he does actually mean it when he says he's trans, But it's taken him 2.5 years to finally realize if he wants to be recognized as transgender and female by everyone else, he actually has to do something about it himself. He can't expect society to just believe that he's trans when he's not doing anything about it. But yeah, that's why I deleted the video, because it's wrong to leave it up. And I explained something in that video that was important, and since I've deleted it, I'll explain it again. In December of 2018, I said to David that transgender does not exist, and I also said it in my 2018 year in review video. So even though I cleared it up back then, I deleted the video. Back in that video, I deleted the video, so I'll clear it up again. The reason I said that is, well, I've just explained one reason. The reason why is because the way David acted about being transgender simply just did not look real. The way he acted about it looked as if he was faking it, because he was doing the bare minimum. Even that, he never ever did anything about being trans. To me, it always looked like he says he's trans because he says so, and that's it. He doesn't actually have to do anything. He doesn't have to try and look any different, try and act any different, try and be any different to actually present as female. Hopefully he will actually start putting in some effort into being trans and realise society isn't going to make you medically or socially transition. You're going to have to actually do that yourself, and then people will start accepting you as trans because you'll actually present as female. And the other reason was I just simply uneducated. I was simply uneducated on anything to do with transgender at all. But over the past year and 8 months now, so January 2019 up until now and still onwards, I have been much more educated on transgender and everything about it. I do support trans people, and you've seen me tweet about supporting trans people multiple times. And yeah, don't attack trans people for this stupid ban. It's not their fault. They didn't do anything wrong. It's the mod's fault. So yeah, funnily enough, hopefully anyone who missed that apology will accept this one. I do support trans people, and if I offended any trans people when I made those statements back in 2018, can you forgive me after I've changed my views and opinions on trans people? Okay, now that the apology has been taken care of, there was a brand new anime subreddit that was created while the downfall of r/Animememes was happening, and it's called r/good Animememes, and it's basically the same thing. It's basically just now the new r/Animememes, and in just 2 weeks it's gained over 200k subscribers. I am included. Me and Che are included in those 200k. But yeah, that's and the mods even started attacking the users, calling them transphobic. It's like, no, mods, you ain't what make up this subreddit. You are not what make this subreddit what it is. The users do. That's why there was 930k subscribers. They were the people that made the subreddit, not you. You just moderate it. You don't do anything else. You don't post the memes. You don't create the content. You don't make other people. You're not the ones making people laugh at funny memes. So yeah, it's simply just the mods not taking any accountability or responsibility for basically for what they've done. you haven't made any difference to transphobia in the world, r/animememes mods. You've not made any difference. It hasn't changed from your stupid ban. And you kind of get what you deserve, having to privatize the entire subreddit because the community of r/animemes memed you so hard that you couldn't take the backlash anymore. You couldn't take the backlash, but you also didn't take any responsibility. Okay, that's be it for this video. Talking about r/animemes and its downfall. Anyone who's looking for good anime memes on Reddit now, go to r/goodanimemes. It already has 200k members, as I said before, and I think it'll just keep growing. But yeah, only r/animemes, only the anime community could go from simping over a girl's bodily fluid tea to going to a full-blown civil war in the space of 1 week. But that's going to be it. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, follow me on all my social medias, and on Friday, we'll be talking about Uzaki-chan. But until then, catch you later.